95 of posting every day until I hit 1,000 subscribers, so please subscribe, or at least like the video so that others can see it. Do you thrift? Do you like thrifting? Have you ever been thrifting? You know, Goodwill is pretty famous for that, but there's other mom and pop type shops that do it, and I think there's even others that are as big as Goodwill or, franchised or whatever you would call that, like Goodwill. But regardless, let me know where you go, if you do go, and what your finds were and what you got them for. So I was just going to share a couple with you today, because if you've never gone thrifting, you should try it at least once, because you can find some pretty cool stuff. I recommend, based on your hobbies and interests, go to the part of the store. They're usually themed by, I like kitchen stuff, sports stuff, clothes, of course, is a big one. Electronics is my favorite spot. And then in the kids area, you can find board games, which you can usually find some pretty cool ones. And then there's miscellaneous shelves and stuff. Just go figure out the ones near you. The ones in bigger cities are usually way better because there's a whole lot more rich people buying nicer stuff and then buying the next best thing and then getting rid of that stuff. Plus, there's people moving in and out of those cities that don't want to take as much with them when they go, and then you get all their stuff and you get it super cheap. Back when I lived in LA, they don't do dollar days around where I'm at now in Tennessee, but in LA they had dollar days, so everything was priced with a different color sticker. And if that sticker was orange, for example, then on every Thursday there would be a different color, something like that, and it'd be like Dollar Thursdays. So you'd go and you'd just look at what color is that day, and everything that's that color is $1. So a couple things I got was this joystick. It's like a flight stick from Logitech. It's not the best, but it's a good starter, especially for somebody who's not super into flight sims or anything. And then I got this really expensive brand of French press, which I know doesn't look like much, but if you know, you know. They like kickstarted and everything. It's like $100 or something crazy. Like I would never spend as much as that thing costs. But for $1, I was like, what is this? This seems like a pretty big deal. And it was like double mesh filter. And, I had really crappy French presses at the time. I was French pressing a lot. Now I mainly just brew espresso with a espresso maker that I eventually got. Also, the used market, if you just learn to tinker, and I'll talk about this in later videos, because I've specifically done something recently that is relevant to that. But if you learn to tinker and like figure out how things work, it's usually more simple than you realize. If you can solve puzzles in video games, like putting the gear in the right place or moving that and whatever, you can figure it out, and you can get some really cool stuff that people think are broken for crazy cheap, and then you find out they're not even broken. So I've got funny stories about that. Bye.